I am so glad you are here. I'm Liz from Megas Books and Herbs, and it is a live Wednesday with special guest Raven Digitalis. He will be appearing shortly. But first, yes, first, let's do what is she drinking, what is she wearing game, shall we? Well, today I'm turning my brain on. I've got some Bacopa in here. I've got some burdock, still a little bit of dry spot on my thumb there. Although the eczema went away. Yay! And a few other goodies are in here. Little ashwagandha. Deliciousness. Oh, and some chrysanthemum as well. And what am I wearing? Well, look at my fabulous jewelry other than my wedding rings. So I've got a couple of amethysts. This one's just a cabochon, and this one's a faceted. I've got that beautiful sterling silver lotus in there, and I've got gorgeous apatite. Just look at that beauty. These are all from Tracy's Treasures, and I have some other jewelry we just got in to show you guys real quick for what's cool and new in a few minutes. But let's go to what is happening around here. Take you through the first few weeks of the month just to let you know what fun you can have when you come in. So on this Saturday, March 7th, the Alliance Coven will be here. They will be doing their Dedicants class. So it's not the Seekers class. It's not the 101. It's kind of the 102 or the 101B. But if you want to just meet them and get a feel for them, and you're here when we start and the start of our day here at noon, or if you're here when they're finishing up like 2:30, you might get to meet some folks who are doing some training in the Twin Cities. If you're looking for a group you want to check out, they're a potential group for you to come and check out. There are 3 meeting here now, and I'm going to cover all 3 in this few weeks of scheduling. Later on that same Saturday, March 7th, 2026, just in case you're seeing this 5 years from now, is SU's American Hoodoo and Folk Magic class. That's at 3 o'clock. Now, the Dedicants class, that's entirely free to those people who are qualified to attend. The American Hoodoo and Folk Magic class is a by donation class, and he's got his whole class planned out. So if you want to check out the class, go to our website, go to megasbooks.com, click on events, and find that American Hoodoo class. And the second paragraph is the current class that he's going to be offering this month. It should be an amazing expansion on what he started last month, and you don't have to have attended that one to attend this one. On Sunday the 8th at 10 o'clock for 1 hour before we open, it looks like we're going to be doing our British traditional class. And at 3:30, Nancy Antonucci's Tarot Lab. The 10 o'clock class, completely free. Nancy Antonucci's Tarot Lab is a by donation class. Fantastic class. Of course, Herbs 1 and Herbs 3 are running right now, but we're way into them, and it would be super confusing for anybody to join in. So if you're interested in starting your herbal journey, by all means, come and check out the enrollment for the fall. If those classes are not up now, we'll be putting them up soon, but it should be fun. Probably going to be on Wednesday evenings, unless I get a lot of people telling me they want to do 9 once a month all-day seminars, which is the other way I've taught the class. But at this point, probably Wednesday nights for the next Herb 1. Saturday the 14th, Journey into Magical Practice. This is a fantastic free event. It's another one of these like the Alliance Coven. This is their 101 class. This is their beginning training class. They have all kinds of questions they answer about practices, about divination techniques, all kinds of wonderful things they do. What they do in this portion when they're here live is the ritual portion of the Journey into Magical Practice series. The rest of their classes are online. So they're here about once a month for the next few months, putting on the most amazing rituals, the stage setting for these rituals, the accoutrements. It takes them an hour or 2 to set up. It takes them an hour or 2 to tear down. If you have not seen one of these rituals, totally recommend. The rituals themselves, I believe, start at 2 in the afternoon. But they're here from noon. If you want to just come and meet them and hang out and maybe help them set up, if they're willing to let you, that would be great. On the following Sunday, Sunday the 15th, Reiki 1 is at noon. So if you want to start your Reiki journey, these are very old-fashioned, simple Usui Reiki classes, few hours of instruction, the initiations, and then at least an hour of practice time, depending on how many people we have to practice on. The class always varies in length because the initiations are done the old-fashioned way, which means one-on-one while everyone else meditates. but it's always fun to do the Reiki. An excuse to do a moving meditation all day? Oh no, we're happy with it. And later on in that day, at 4 p.m., the Chronic Illness Support Group is meeting. This is led by a wonderful woman who went through cancer herself. And she really didn't find spiritual resources that were readily available for her in the hospital, in the clinics that she attended. The chaplains didn't really have a grasp on her spirituality. You'll find her book on her experiences and the way she worked through them and the resources she recommends if you're going through chronic illness in our Pagan Wiccan Witchcraft book section. Jessica Settergren is her name. She's fantastic. And that grief support group that chronic illness support group is really worth attending if you are going through it, whether you have cancer like she did, and frankly, the recovery from cancer is a whole other world, or you're dealing with rheumatoid arthritis or lupus or any of the other chronic diseases that are out there. Just, maybe you really injured yourself at one point and so you're in chronic pain. This is the support group for you. Come check it out, 4 o'clock, Sunday the 15th. And of course, my last one, I'm just going to stop here because it's the big one, Paganicon. The 20th through the 22nd of this month, we'll be there. I'll be tabling. I might poke my head in to one of our founders' lectures. Roger's the keynote speaker this year, so we're looking forward to a fantastic year. He even put off his trip to Greece this year. Bless him. One more note, I always put it on the end of this one, is where to park when you come here. We have free on-street parking, which is fantastic, but if it fills up, because sometimes it does, there is a church 1 block south of us and 1/2 block west of us called St. Clement's Catholic Church. Patron saint of sailors, by the way, and stonecutters. But we've spoken with them, as have many of the local businesses, and they are very happy to allow folks to park in their parking lot. And right now that is a free parking lot. We are exploring options to help them maintain it. So it may become a paid parking lot by sometime this spring or early summer. Still going to be a good deal if you can't find anywhere else to park, though. So St. Clement Church, 1 block south, 1/2 block west on Lowry. And you're naturally going to park really far away from the church because we're to the north and the church is on the south end of the block. The parishioners are naturally going to park at the south. I've never seen a conflict, honestly. So recommend them. Now, if you're looking for readers, I got a cruise and hurry up. If you're looking for readers, we've got a great crew of readers right now. We have Margaret, Eshu, Morpheus, Ravenwolf, and probably Daryl. Morpheus is only here for part of 1 day a week doing dream interpretation, but he's very, very, very good. So if you're puzzling over some symbolism, maybe what you've read online or read in a book doesn't match what you're going through, he will have some really good insights for you just because you guys chatted about things. Very intuitive dream interpreter, really good. That's Morpheus. Probably Daryl is here 3 days a week reading from his personally designed oracle deck. Even if you don't get a reading, come get a tour of the deck. It's a fantastic deck. He's here Mondays, noon to 2, right before Morpheus does dream interpretation. Tuesdays, 3 to 6, and Fridays, 4 to 6. Great guy, great reader. Did a better reading on me than he even knew. It was fantastic. We've also got Ravenwolf, fabulous tarot reader. He's in Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. So Tuesdays, he's here noon to 3. Thursdays, 3 to 6, the other half of the day. And on Fridays, what are those hours? 1 to 4. Great reader, wonderful time. And then Wes Eshu is in doing palm readings and tarot readings, your choice. He's here all day on Sundays, noon to 6. He's here the same on Wednesdays. He shares the day with Ravenwolf on Thursdays, so he's only here from noon to 3. And he shares Saturdays with the adorable and wonderful Margaret. He's here from noon to 3 for the first half of the day, and Margaret, an outstanding tarot reader, is in from 3 to 6. And if, by the way, you want to book somebody for a party, give us a call, let us know. We're happy to pass that information on to the readers and let them book with you. And that happens regularly, so not frequently, but regularly. Now, for cool stuff, I got a couple things I want to show you and something I want to warn you about. So we just got in these adorable sterling silver Bridget's crosses and this one and only one, that's not how many I ordered, but one triple moon with a pentacle in the middle in sterling. But I've gotten word from one of our regular jewelry suppliers that sterling silver has jumped 300% in cost. So the price of sterling silver jewelry is about to go through the roof. So if you're looking for sterling silver rings, I recommend buying sooner rather than later. And what's going to replace it? Bronze. So we've gotten some bronze pieces in for you guys. I've got a simple pentacle. I've got a pentacle with a stag. I've got a Thor's hammer. I've got this adorable little witch's broom. And I have in the stainless steel style, the not silver, the Hecate, mother goddess. You know, nothing like having an earth mother goddess figure that's, you know, going to teach you how to defend yourself. And I also managed to snag in these adorable little three-dimensional Baphomets. Oh, Father. That's cool stuff that's coming. Oh, wait, I have one more little pile for you guys. Some of the stuff that's coming up from the vaults downstairs temporarily, and some stuff that I've been talking about these last few weeks is going back down, is One Spirit Tarot. This is an out-of-print tarot deck. It's adorable. Tarot of the Old Path. In the original, look at that, like video cassette tape box, for those of you who can remember those. I've got Antichrist down here is coming upstairs as well. The Origin of the Zodiac. Oh, what else have I got in this pile? The Great Pyramid, an outline of modern occultism. And you want to know how modern? It's written by someone named Cyril. Cyril Scott's Modern Occultism. And the other two I've got that are coming up at least for a few weeks. Occultism and Modern Science and Occult Exercises and Practices, the only relatively modern book that I am pulling up. And for me, I haven't looked at the publication date, but this looks like a 1980s cover to me. So I'm guessing somewhere in the mid to late 80s. Did I guess right? Let's see. Dun, dun, dun. Ooh, no, 97. Later than I thought. But that's some of the cool stuff we've got that's just come in or that we're just making available to folks. Not online, but here in the physical store, because we only open up our used book vaults that are up online regularly a couple times a year. And we just did it about a month ago. So no one's going to see those books unless they're upstairs for probably a good 6 months. So, but enough of stuff. I'm going to bring on our guest today. I know you're waiting. He's the cool guy. It's Raven Digitalis. Adding him to the stage. Hello.
Hi, can you hear me?
I can just hear you. You're still very quiet, but I can still hear you. We've having some audio difficulties, folks.
I don't know why we're having audio difficulties, so I'm just gonna speak at full voice and then just take a Ricola later.
Perfect.
It's like, no, you were mentioning the copper piece, right?
Yes. Copper and bronze, yeah.
Oh, and bronze. Yeah. Sorry, the bronze piece. Yeah. So I looked up in my book, which is called A Witch's Shadow Magic Compendium, and I looked up bronze because I have a whole section in there about magical metals, and so I looked up bronze because I always forget what I write. And okay, so bronze, planet Venus and Jupiter, element air and water. Gender, masculine and feminine, vibration, medium, high, magical uses, C, copper, and tin. So note, bronze is a mixture of copper and tin. It vibrates to properties of both metals and can be used when either or both are desired in spellcraft, is what I have in there. Yeah.
And if you folks are curious about the work of Raven Digitalis and what's available, the QR code that is in the corner of the screen, if you can see it, is absolutely the QR code to go to our website. I just did a search for you, and that's what came. And your stuff came up, and they can go right. They can click right to it.
Well, I have to say, I have been a fan of Megas since Roger was operating the store back. You know, my first book tour, I went to Minneapolis, and of course my heart goes out to Minneapolis and the Twin Cities with all the shit going on. And oh man, so
I mean, can you imagine? We're founded by someone here on a permanent green card. We're run today by somebody who's the child, grandchild, and great-grandchild of immigrants. It's not, immigration has always been kind of at the forefront of the consciousness of this place, just due to circumstance. So I am very happy that so many people are so positive about immigration right now, and that people are working so hard to ensure the safety of immigrants around the country, and that people have protested around the world in unison with us here. It's been my heart breaks, but it feels so supportive. So thank you for mentioning it at all.
It's one of those difficult things where, like, of course I'm protesting with my immediate family. Like, we're all on the same page, and just like whatever little thing we can do to help improve situations or bring awareness. That's what we got to do.
Yeah, just the sacrifices a family makes for the move. And I'm not saying it doesn't turn out for the best for most folks who come here, but just the fact that you can't get that food that you never thought you'd have to live without, the little comforts that disappear because you're just in a foreign place. It's those little sacrifices, even if your immigration was relatively easy and relatively simple. Now, if you're coming from a place where you were politically tortured, great, I am so happy you're here. But and the fact that you bring with you all of this family, that all of these people enter society. I know I've gone on and on about this. My grandparents made the decision to follow my great grandfather because discrimination and poverty is a thing around the world, abandoned as kids. And that decision by my grandparents, that's given this country about 24 so far productive, tax-paying, investing adults over the years. And every immigration story sounds like this one. So anyway, sorry, soapboxing a little bit about what makes a country great, immigration.
No, it does.
Anyway.
It's so true. Like, diversity is number frickin' one. Yeah. And like, I'm friends, and we caught up on video like a couple days ago with Angela Harrelson, who's the auntie of George Floyd, aka Perry, and had a great catch up the other day. And I was blessed to visit George Floyd's memorial site in Minneapolis because I was staying on my last book tour for this one, The Empath's Oracle, which is with Llewellyn. They're in Woodbury. So on that book tour, I was blessed to stay with my good friend Dusty, and they brought me to the memorial site. And I was crying. I was offering tobacco, like I was doing all these things, offering incense, and then his auntie Angela was like, she was there, and she's like, "Oh, I just love you," and so we just have been connected ever since. Like, we traded books, and like, and that kind of it's just another level of community, right?
Exactly. Yeah. And the number of people who came out to help with all of that, to clean up the area, was phenomenal. People came from all over, and it was a real, moment, I think, for people to acknowledge that, this kind of discrimination still exists, this kind of behavior still exists, and it still needs to be recorded so it can be stamped out.
Yeah, exactly.
It's that simple.
Yeah, and bringing awareness to those things is huge. And people can, like fragile men can throw a fit about it all they want, but it's like fragile white men, like whatever, like he can throw a fit about it, but it's like, girl, nope. We need representation. All the diversity needs representation. So
yes, it does. And frankly, it's the exchange of ideas that has propelled most societies forward. And immigration, no matter how cruelly or kindly it's done, has always been one of the cornerstones of those exchanges of ideas. It's just necessary for society to propel forward. Which also means you have to value everyone in society and their potential for input.
Yeah. Yep.
So
Yep.
you got to treat everybody
That's
decently.
evolution. It's
Yeah,
evolution. Yeah.
completely.
Yeah. Yeah. Forward momentum.
Yeah, it is by working through those ideas. And every generation has to do some of that themselves, and every generation builds on the previous one to some extent. And
Yes. Yes. Yes.
that's the thing we want. So tell me about your fabulous new project.
Yeah. Okay. So I've got my books here on hand, um, which I'm like dropping. Hold on. Okay.
I don't know.
So again, number one, I've been a fan of Magus books for frickin' since 2007 when I went there on my first book tour for my first book called Gothcraft, Gothcraft, Gothcraft. That was my first book. For some reason, it's still my highest seller for now. Um, and it was a hit or miss thing because I got a lot of negative feedback, a lot of positive feedback, had a lot of models in the book. And I was also 24 when I wrote it. I'm 42 now, so it's like those numbers are reversed. Um, but oh man, I just adore Roger so much, and I know that Megas has moved locations a number of times, and
Yeah.
um, still, you're upholding the energy there and upholding that goodness and that reaching other people. I think Megas was the first place that I got poplar buds, um, and some graveyard dirt. There were a few different things. Well, many different things. Oh, I also got Aleister Crowley's book 4 there.
Oh,
Back
nice.
back in 2007. Yeah.
Yeah, we've got a copy on the shelf right now, I believe.
Yeah.
Got to have the classics. Yep,
Yes. Exactly.
exactly. No, I remember
And-
you coming in for that book signing. You were fantastic at
oh,
that book signing.
you remember that?
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
that's so cool. Great. Thanks.
I've been here not as long as Roger, but almost. And by the way, he still comes in if he's in the country every Wednesday. He'll be here in an hour to make me leave the building.
Good. Well, please give him some shit for me.
I absolutely will.
Okay. No, I just adore him to no end. I'm telling him, like, what a wonderful person. And like the last time I visited Minneapolis, got to hang out with him and his wife and his family and friends, and got to see his art studio.
Hmm.
Just like it's like a holy site.
It is amazing.
It's like
Yes.
amazing. Okay, anyway, my new book is called Shadow Magic Spellbook. And this cover, Llewellyn, this is by Llewellyn in Woodbury. They did an incredible job with this. Like, there's raised lamination here, great back cover. But anyway, like the content of the book is, like it says here, spells, charms, and rituals for positive change. And that's something that I really wanted to emphasize is that if somebody's going to pick up Shadow Magic Spellbook, you're not going to find how to screw people over or curse them. It's like I do have alternatives in there for that are more karmically, aligned for cursing and binding or freezing, things like that. Of course. But mainly it's the first chapter is all the inner shadow, the internal shadow, and that's what I feel is the most important when it comes to shadow work and shadow magic, is looking at our internal shadows. And I do that all the time. I am not perfect. I'm not an expert at that. I do have some knowledge about that, and that's why I was inspired to write that book. There's 144 spells, charms, and rituals in the book, and I don't know why the universe was like, let's do 144 with 7 guest spells. I'm like, okay, 144, 12 by 12, okay, and then 7 guest spells, okay, lucky 7, I got it. So just rolled with it, and I am so happy with how it turned out, and I'm so thrilled that you guys are carrying it there too.
Oh, absolutely. I took a glance through it. I really enjoyed parts. I really did enjoy parts of it, but I did not read it cover to cover. I will freely admit I don't have that kind of time, but
Oh, that's fine.
yeah, there were
Well,
definitely pieces that stood out that I thought this is that idea of working with oneself first and confronting the scary things that dwell within as a good foundation for then moving forward magically in life. I think that's important.
yeah, and that's one thing about the book also is that it's not meant to be read cover to cover anyway. It's
Yeah.
like we don't need all those spells and rituals. Like, so my first spell book that I did is called Planetary Spells and Rituals. I told you I have all my
Yep.
books on. Okay,
Yep.
Planetary
I've got
Spells
that
and
on the
Rituals.
shelf right now. Yep.
Yeah, I don't highly recommend it, but, but I'm very self-critical too. That's part of my shadow work. But those spells and rituals are much more intricate than the new book. So with Shadow Magic Spellbook, they're way more accessible. And the one thing that I say over and over in Shadow Magic Spellbook is to modify the rituals and spells and procedures to match your own proclivities. Don't do
Yeah.
any of these by the book, which I don't see a lot of spell books saying. It's like, don't do these just by the book. They're not recipes.
No.
They are meant to be personalized, and I think that's part of the craft is where you have to personalize these
Yeah.
things.
Absolutely. In fact, I hate to say this because as a book person who's raised like by a college librarian and everything, you should never write in a book. These are books I encourage people to write in. If your interpretation of
Mhm.
something is different than the author's, make a note. You'll find it valuable when you go back. If you change the ritual, write down right there so that it's there the next time you look what you changed, maybe a little bit about why and how well it worked.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, and in that sense, it's a lot like recipes. Like I'll look at some of my mother's recipes for cooking, and it's like, don't add this, add some more of this. It's like
Yeah.
it's similar kind of thing, and these are the results, like you said, like
Mhm.
results, like yeah.
Yeah, no, I think there's a place for a complicated, more formal ritual, and I think that can be
Oh
a
yeah,
valuable, worthwhile, beautiful experience. But especially if you're working first and foremost on yourself, I think you're right. Just accessibility and speed, the ability to do it now can be really valuable, even if it's something that you're going to layer on more later and continue to work through whatever it is you're casting your magic about. I still think at least let's get it started, right?
exactly. Yeah, and that's why I chose for um, again the new book um, to begin with internal shadow spells, the inner work,
Yeah.
and what we're doing with it, like the Jungian sense of shadow, things that have been repressed. There's trauma work in there, all these things. There's four chapters in the book, and I don't know what is up with this 12, 12, 12, 12 thing, because there's four chapters with three subsections each, which equals 12. And there's 144 spells entirely. I'm like, why can't you give me the witch's number of 13, universe? But so I'm like, okay, I'll
The,
just
the
surrender to it.
13th, the 13th is the person who's reading the book.
Oh,
The one who's doing the work.
okay.
That's your
In-
unfinished chapter.
Interesting. Oh, so it's like an etheric kind of chapter.
Yeah.
Whoa. Oh, that's trippy. Okay, I'm tripping out. Like, that's awesome. I love it. So the the first chapter is all about the internal shadow. The second one is the interpersonal shadow, and that's
Mhm.
where I get into things like a lot of protection magic, um, alternatives to cursing, and how we deal with each other's shadows just socially, and then also navigating um, just society in general. And then the third chapter of the four is about the shadow of nature. So we just, like, at the time of this recording, we just went through an eclipse. We went through this giant planetary alignment. Mercury just did its thing. It's like there's all these things going on. So also in that chapter are like a review of dark tools like graveyard dirt and blood magic and like things like that we can do from the shadow spectrum for again the greater good. And then the fourth and final chapter is called The Shadow of the Other World. And so the other world involves dreams and sleep, which is very Jungian also. It kind of wraps it up. But it also involves like ancestral veneration, venerating our ancestors and those who have passed, and yeah. So I feel really good about the project, and like and just the way that the book turned out. I'm
Oh,
just
yeah.
so thrilled with it. Like Llewellyn
Yeah.
does an incredible job, and again, for the Twin Cities viewers and listeners, they're in Minneapolis or they're in Woodbury. Um, just such a good job, and I'm just so
Mhm.
thrilled with it, and I'm just honored to be here and be part of Megas because, like I said, I've been a fan of Megas since the mid 2000s, and
Wow.
um,
We appreciate it. Thank you.
and Roger, yeah, thank you.
Roger.
And then Roger's a friend of mine, and um, I just love to be connected with your incredible store
Well,
and
thanks.
your
We're
offer.
striving to keep up the general good work of cross pollination from different groups and different traditions and all that good stuff. We've got three different offerings for people looking for groups right now. Like, just take the tour, visit them all if
Yeah.
that's what you want. And if it's not what you want, that's cool. You got to follow your path.
Yep.
That's my philosophy.
Yep.
So,
Great.
well, I actually have a question for you about ancestor worship because it came up yesterday. Somebody asked me a question. I'd be curious to know what your answer would be. I'm happy to share mine too, but they will work with deities that they feel pulled to, that they feel they have gotten a calling from. And recently, just recently, they've started getting those calls from ancestors. And they're trying to figure out how to do both. And it's not a conflict they're getting from anything out there. It's not like there's a god like pouting and stomping its feet. It's entirely their angst about it. So, do you have any tips for working in ancestor worship uh,
Mm,
for somebody who's already been doing this a while and already has an altar set up to the deities they're working with? Is there anything you would recommend?
well, one thing I would recommend is keeping those things separate. So if you're working with a deity that was not the um, patron or matron or whatever of the deity of the ancestor you're working with, don't work with them at the same time. Keep them separate. Um, so, so the deities often call when we're needing personal work. The ancestors are different. So, like for certain ancestors of mine, I've done frickin' Christian prayers because that was their paradigm
Mm-hmm.
of wisdom and knowing. So and when I observe Hindu rituals and fast and give veneration to those deities, I don't mix that with Wicca or neo-paganism or calling the elements or anything like that. Well, the elements, they're universal, but um,
Everybody has fire, and fire is hot for everybody. So yeah, there's some commonality.
yeah. So don't mix and match. But we have that luxury here in the USA to do some mixing and matching. That doesn't mean we should do it necessarily. So we just need to be, take a step back, I think, and just be very mindful of who we're venerating and what their spiritual paradigm was. And that helps us venerate the deities better also.
Yeah, I would agree.
Because
I know when I spoke with this person, I talked about maybe setting up a separate altar
separate, yeah.
to kind of get things, cozy, but not so they're not playing with everybody all at once. And I don't think that was their aim, which I was happy to hear. But yeah, it is interesting that these ancestors for this person came in only after they started getting drawn toward more ceremonialist practices, which seems to be on the rise a little bit right now. And I'm fascinated by this because it puts you, as soon as you dip your toe into ceremonial magic, it puts you just a little bit into biblical thinking because that's the backbone of it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm fascinated that happened. And then all of a sudden, there's this ancestor worship coming to the fore. And of course, I've made my very bad joke on TikTok about, will Generation Alpha be into the 6, 7 books of Moses? As a harbinger for maybe more ceremonial magic becoming more prevalent in people's lives.
I don't even know those books, but maybe.
Maybe.
I don't know. Just like, I don't know. I feel like the newer generation it's just because of AI and all these things, they can see through the shit so much easier.
Yep.
And so they're like, this sounds like mythology, not reality. But mythology is realistic because, they're allegories and these things.
Yep.
It's just, I think that the younger generations can kind of discern better than we could.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think the real lesson there is that they are analogies and that ritual is a bunch of symbols. And so what does it mean to you? What did it mean to the people who created that particular ritual? Does their symbolism align with your thought process? It might not. And what does the ritual mean to you? And does it give you the two things I think every religion should always give everyone, which is joy. If your practices do not ultimately bring you joy, you're in the wrong religion. And two, the opportunity to, the reinforcement of being a better human being.
Yep.
That's it. That's the two things I think any religious structure should give you, whether it's self-imposed structure or you're in a group of some kind or congregation of some kind. So at that point, is the religion or that practice serving you? And if it's like, no, it just seems like gobbledygook mythology to me, then time to find a different system.
Well, and
you're right. They're good at it.
It's great to read the stories, right? And we can learn a lot from those allegories. It doesn't mean that we're required as pagans or whatever we are to believe them as gospel, like as truth, because one thing that I learned in college too, because I studied cultural anthropology, is that mythical truth is not something lesser than everyday world truth, because it's all in the ether. It's all egregorical. It's all here. And
exactly.
Yeah. And of course, I'm sure you have been too, I'm frustrated with the division between the biblical Jesus, who is a guru and an elder and just a beautiful person, beautiful guide and leader, versus the white Christian nationalist version.
The folks that Ms. Betty Bauer makes fun of online. Yeah.
I love Betty Bauer. Devin. Yeah, she is genius. No,
Yes.
I've been in touch with her too, and yeah, she is genius. Yeah. So yes, listeners, look up America's Best Christian, Betty Bowers.
Mhm. I
Oh,
promise you will be sarcastically entertained if you do.
oh yeah. Oh yeah. No, I actually
She's
showed
fantastic.
so good. I actually, when I was living in Hawaii, I'm back in Montana, in Missoula, Montana now, my hometown. But for almost 4 years, I lived in Hawaii. And when I was in Kauai, I met a priest from Chicago and his wife, and I showed them a Betty, like just randomly, and I showed them a Betty Bowers video about biblical marriage.
Mhm.
Um, and they just wouldn't have it. Like they were very kind, very yeah, nice people, very cool. That's nice. They just didn't want to be educated, and that's the thing. Like, do we want to be educated? And like, here's my esoteric empathy book. This is the favorite book that I've ever written. Is esoteric empathy. This
It's a
took me.
great read. I would recommend it.
Oh, thank you. And that took me like 6 years to get together. And then again, Shadow Magic Spellbook, the newest one, brand new, spanking new. Um, but I think one thing that I discuss is that some people just don't want to learn, and they're fine in their paradigm and their worldview. And if they're not hurting anybody, cool.
Yeah. They
It's like,
found what works for them.
yeah, and that's their journey. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm the kind of person who always goes, look, there's another mountain. I'm going to
I
climb that
know.
intellectual mountain next. But that's me. And
Exactly.
you don't have to do that if it's not who you are. In
Right.
any event, we are over time because I'm bad at that. I always go over just a little bit with folks. This has been fantastic. Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
And
It's been
one
a
more.
great conversation.
This is my assistant and familiar cat skills. This is cat.
Gorgeous cat. Aw.
Yeah. So he's reluctantly going to the vet today to get his nails clipped.
Ooh. I'm sure you have treats. I'm sure you have compensation.
We do, yeah. Oh yeah, we got him. And please say
Well,
hello. Please say hello to Roger for me and for everybody over at Megas. Yeah, you guys, whoever's listening or watching, please just continue to support Megas. It's one of my favorite metaphysical shops in the world, and they know what they're doing, and they will lead you in the right direction. Just yeah, they've always
I'm
led me.
blushing. Appreciate you. And for everybody else out there, thank you so much for watching and watching on the replay too. Looking forward to more comments. And on behalf of myself and the rest of the crew, thank you for being your amazing magical you. We love that about you. And of course, for doing the little amazing magical things you can do here in social media land. I know you know what they are. Have a blessed week, everybody. And we will see you soon. Blessed be.
Bless.